In America, everyone counts, and the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Respond today online, by phone, or by mail, and help inform hundreds of billions in funding for education, health programs, and more. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, bro.
Illegally selling water without a permit
on my property.
Whoa! Hey!
Give us your ass.
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
Y'all, gunfire broke out while Charles McMillon Jr. and his son and childhood friend Kendrick Clemons were dropping off a U-Haul truck in Tallahassee, Florida. The next thing they saw was an older couple coming toward them, both pointing guns in their direction. The couple ordered them to not move, but McMillon sped off in his truck. The two shooters, Wallace Fountain, 77, and his wife, Beverly Fountain, 72, owned the strip mall where the incident took place and were reportedly staking it out inside another U-Haul truck. According to the Tallahassee Democrat, the couple said they were having problems with people stealing gas, but McMillon and Clemons say they were profiled by vigilantes and never given a chance to explain why they were there. The Fountains were arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault without intent to kill. These white folks losing their mind, Mellick.
They were arrested. They should have been arrested. Whether or not this was something that's racially motivated is, for me, is pretty much irrelevant to the fact that they were actually arrested because law enforcement saw that they did something wrong. So this was one of the instances where it worked as it should have. Whatever charges that need to be filed against him, they need to be filed. But I'm glad that they were actually arrested, and I think you said charged too. So.
It's crazy, deranged white folks. We should have made that crazy ass white people segment. Go ahead, Kelly.
No, I agree. Like, for me, it was the part in the article that I read about this where the charges were aggravated assault without the intent to kill. And last I checked, you don't wield a gun and point it at anybody without an intent to kill. You don't shoot to stop, you shoot to kill. So they just need to revise those charges and then we'll be straight.
Mustafa?
I mean, this is not an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies or Green Acres. You know, you just can't be popping off at folks. You know, they're lucky. They're very, very fortunate that, you know, they fired at certain folks because certain folks would have taken that as a seriousness that you're trying to take their lives.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. As our community comes together to support the fight against racial injustice, I want to take a second to talk about one thing we can do to ensure our voices are heard. Not tomorrow, but now. Have your voices heard in terms of what kind of future we want by taking the 2020 census today at 2020census.gov? Now, folks, let me help you out. The census is a count of everyone living in the country. It happens once every 10 years. It is mandated by the U.S. Constitution. The thing that's important is that the census informs funding, billions of dollars, how they are spent in our communities every single year. I grew up in Clinton Park in Houston, Texas, and we wanted new parks and roads and a senior citizen center. Well, the census helps inform all of that and where funding goes. It also determines how many seats your state will get in the U.S. House of Representatives. Young black men and young children of color are historically undercounted, which means a potential loss of funding of services that helps our community. Folks, we have the power to change that. We have the power to help determine where hundreds of billions in federal funding go each year for the next 10 years. Funding that can impact our community, our neighborhoods, and our families and friends. Folks, responses are 100% confidential and can't be shared with your landlord, law enforcement, or any government agency. So please, take the 2020 census today. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov.